Now, let's go back to the briefing that happened yesterday. Indian forces highlighted key achievements of Operation Sindoor. The top officials of the forces for the first time yesterday explained how India carried out precision strikes at terror hubs. The terrorist training camps in Bahawalpur and Muridke were the pivotal targets that were hit by India. The Air Force executed precision airstrikes using air-to-surface guided ammunition to ensure effective engagement and minimal collateral damage. Air Marshal A.K. Bharti displayed the detailed missile impact video at the Bahawalpur terror camp. The Indian Armed Forces also underscored that India eliminated high-value targets such as Yusuf Azhar, Abdul Malik Rauf and Mudassir Ahmad, who were involved in the hijack of IC-814 and the Pulwama attack. Air Marshal A.K. Bharti also elaborated that Indian armed forces were confronted with a series of Pakistani drone attacks after the Operation Sindoor, which came in waves over our civilian areas and even military installations. The robust S-400 air defense system ensured that no damage was caused in the cities. Later, Indian forces carried out a series of precision strikes at different military facilities of Pakistan.
And after the strike, this is what has happened. This radar has been taken out, completely burnt. Next slide, please. The Chunia air defense radar, which was taken out on 7th and 8th. This is the radar site. A blown up photograph, once again, on a tower. Not very clear, but what you see very clearly is the after effect after we have struck. The radar head has been completely decapitated. Arifwala air defense radar. In this complex, you see how it looked before, blown up image, and after really blown up. Next. Now coming to Sargodha airfield. Remember, this is one of their important airfields, wherein they have a lot of assets, F-16s, other assets which they keep getting, training institutes. And we have stuck this airfield. It is not, if you zoom in here, then one impact point here on the runway and second impact point of our weapon, precision weapon on the runway. And if you see this blown up, repairing going on. Same here. Next. Rahimyar Khan. This is the area we have struck. A deep strike out here and one complex here. So this is how it looked before, and the same. You see a big crater, another crater here, and this complex after strike, neutralized. Next. Chaklala airfield, Noor Khan, once again a major air base, a lot of their logistic assets out here. This was the chosen complex that we intended to strike and convey a message. Next slide, please. This is how it looked before, and this is how it looked after our strike. Next, Sakar. We chose the radar site at Sakar. This is the radar site. And after it was struck, this is the aftermath, completely burnt out. Next, please. Aircraft shelter. This is how it looked before the strike, and this is how it looked after the strike. The roof of the buildings completely caved in and burnt. Next. Bolari airfield, aircraft hangar. This is how it looked before, and this is how it looked after the precision strike. Next. Jacobabad, aircraft hangar, and this is how it looked after.
And now there are many images from open sources that are making waves in the internet, and we are also going to tell you how these pre-strike and post-strike images clearly show us what impact India's strike had. So firstly, we'll talk about the Noor Khan airbase, a very important airbase, very close to the Islamabad, capital of Pakistan. Well, see the pre-strike image, and you can, in that, see the inset area, which is the zoomed-in area, and you can also see the post-strike image. The damage is clearly shown in it, how multiple, there are vehicles which are targeted, trucks which were decimated. Let us also talk about the airbase which were damaged. You can see that there is a considerable damage, and all these that we are showing you, these are satellite images which have been sourced from open sources. Now, an Indian strike at Pakistan's Bholari airbase has killed at least 50. Squadron leader Usman Yusuf was among those killed in the attack on the Bholari base. Multiple Pakistani fighter jets were destroyed in the air raid, and imagery released by an Indian firm, Kava Space, shows that the damage at Pakistan's Bholari air base was quite extensive. The Indian Air Force, I beg your pardon, strike appeared to have severely damaged the base, with debris visible along with structural damage over there.
Bholari airfield, aircraft hangar. This is how it looked before, and this is how it looked after the precision strike. Bholari airfield, aircraft hangar. This is how it looked before, and this is how it looked after the precision strike.
So there are many purposes of these strikes that have been done. One is to send out a message that India is not going to take anything sitting down anymore, and there is also to instill some fear. So was Pak nuke infrastructure also on the Indian radar? This is a big question that everybody is asking. Well, Sargodha Air Base in Pakistan is definitely one of those places where such assets are supported. And India hit the Sargodha Air Base. This is a central ammunition depot of the Pakistani army and armed forces. Pak depot, it is said, it is believed, stores nuke-capable M11 ballistic missiles. So India's intention was to inform Pakistan that we can reach your nuke capabilities that you continuously tom-tom and you continuously talk about in front of the entire world. Now, the Sargodha Air Base also has a strategic plans division. This division is responsible for many things, including managing these nuclear assets. This strategic division oversees these nukes and also has a command center over there. Sargodha Pak Military Transport Hub is also situated at this air base. This is also used for mid-air refueling of Pak jets, which is extremely important in case Pak is doing sorties, Pakistan Air Force is trying to do some exercises. It is an extremely important asset for the Pakistani Air Force. Now, let's try and show you some more images. These are images of, as you can see on your screen, of Udhampur Airport. There were a lot of rumors swirling around that there was damage to Udhampur Airport. As the army had also said, the forces have also said in their press briefing, it was a very limited damage, and you can see there is no damage to the airstrip as was being claimed by multiple sources. You can see the pre-strike imagery. The runway is completely normal, and you will be able to see the post-strike also. Although there was work going over there, ongoing work over there, there was some maintenance work that was going on, but it seems that the pre-strike imagery tells you that all the reports that were coming in, it was completely wrong. There is no disturbance of the soil or any spillage or anything that would indicate to the fact that there was a strike onto the airway, the airstrip, as was claimed by multiple sources on the internet just randomly. Now, my colleague Gaurav Sawant spoke to former Chief of Air Staff Air Chief Marshal A.K. Bhaduria. Let us listen to the former Air Chief decoding the Indian Air Force strikes at these Pakistani air bases.
Are there airfields, all their airfields in Pakistan, air bases, all in the line of fire. I mean, I want you to look at this picture, sir. Noor Khan Air Base hit by India.
Yeah.
This is 7th of May.
So you can just imagine, and all these bombs are on target. Just imagine the damage. That they are on target is shown by satellite picture. The level of explosion and is quite evident here. Therefore, you can just imagine the kind of damage.
I mean, I've looked at...
This is in Lahore.
This is Lahore.
This drone.
This is Rahim Yar Khan Air Base. And we've also seen pictures from inside the
if it
airfield.
goes this deep on the runway, this won't come up in 2-3 days. So right now, Pakistan Air Force would be scrambling to fill up their runways and craters.
Bottom layer is sand and then layers and layers and layers of cement.
They would be scrambling the kind of damage there. And you can see 2-3 days later, they will take the international media and should try to show that there is no damage. They will be working 24 hours to repair this. This is how they operate.
Yeah. I mean, they did that in 2019 at Balakot.
Yeah. But it
took them 40 days. It took them 40 days there.
40 days.
But what kind of a bomb would have done this? I mean, a crater so deep and so wide.
I won't go into that. They should be rest assured that it's not only one variety of weapons that we can do this. There are many. But this is just a trailer, just a small trailer.
This, of course, this video, again, very fascinating. This came out in that press conference on day one. This would be a drone.
This would be from a drone or a small UCAV. This is apparently from a drone.
You know, that's that Sarjal camp and the Mamuna Joya camp. Because I was told that the army itself has rigged some of these quadcopters that can just rig and drop the mortars also.
Yeah. This is... But see how successfully achieved. Simple solution, how effectively employed. And the next one was loitering munition. This is a drone-based ammunition.
Fascinating. I want to understand from you, is this imposing costs on Pakistan's state-sponsored radical Islamist terror? This would be perhaps... You know, if he's lost 11 air bases and radar stations and military sites and 9 terror camps and Muridke and Bahawalpur.
Yeah, absolutely. Imposing costs, and currently more important than cost is affecting their prestige. And so the imposition on their prestige within the country, internationally, exposing their nexus with the terrorists, and the fact that they are willing to go this far to support their terrorists, lives lost in terrorists. So I think the cost to that is much, much higher. And in times to come, that is what will hurt them.